Why stick to just one robot in one set of abilities in Xenna? You know what? Xenna just dropped a bombshell with the release of its new version, 0.12.0. And if you thought it only introduced a new base tournament, well, think again, because they've completely overhauled the meta. Well, spoiler alert, no more areas of users. Well, finally. Of course, let's start with the main event, the Nergo base tournament. From September 11th to December 9th, we have the chance to compete for one of the 500 rare XLR Nergo robots. And yes, you heard that right, only 500 robots are going to be available. And that's not even all. The team has taken it to a step further by introducing new mechanics. So, the robot and its abilities will change every 3 days. So, are you ready to put your abilities to the test? As of now, we only have a brief description of Nergo without any teasers about its abilities. So, as far as we know, it's a light robot that deals death from the skies. So, is this the first flying robot in the game? Yeah, it is highly mobile and capable of creating unexpected yet effective storms. And also, Nergo's primary weapon is its plasma rifle, but it also hides some surprises in its arsenal. Unlocking XLR Nergo will require 1000 parts, and the robot itself looks like a fusion of a wasp and a bat, so quite intriguing. The general tournament rules and rewards remain the same as in the PAN-based tournament, but as I mentioned, the new tournament isn't the main attraction here. So let's dive into the game-changing updates. Towers will no longer instantly destroy robots during conservation, and players can now enter closed towers. This opens up more survival options in the late game and allows you to earn additional points. So it's time to rethink your strategy. But wait, there's more! All abilities now start at the common quality, and some have undergone significant transformations. So it seems like they've rebalanced all the abilities. So let's start with the major changes. First in our list, Gravity Trap. Now drops 4 to 10 mines, dealing 20 to 40% damage to total HP depending on the rarity. Mines can also become invisible and have a slight chance of wiping out the entire cohort. The legendary version sounds particularly enticing, as invisible traps can catch opponents off guard. So expect it to be a popular choice in tournaments soon. Next, Energy Shield. Increases the robot's stats x2 to x5 times, and the shield works with the storms in enemy towers. So say goodbye to spam and dominance of Ares, especially as war trophies have changed too. So will you miss Ares? Next on the list, we have Hack. Scales from x2 to x3 to your cohort size. It can now work both against and from warp ambushes. And at legendary rarity, there is a 10% chance of stealing x2 troops. Well, might have become weaker, but it's still a viable option, bringing a better balance to the game. Next, Security System. Its upgrade now only boosts robot health. The drone deals 80 to 180 damage with an attack radius of 10 to 15 and operates from a power station or warp ambush. While there are significant changes, it remains to be seen if it gains popularity. So there is still room for improvement. Next, Sapper. Now boasts a 3 to 15% chance of mine placement with mines that can become invisible and ignite your enemy. So yeah, this might be the most promising update as it makes mine trickier and more damaging. Okay, don't be too surprised because we've covered the major changes, but there are also some balance adjustments in the certain abilities. For example, Speed Module no longer ignores surface types, but now boosts movement speed on all terrains. So a move towards balance, I suppose. Fireball unleashes from 1 to 5 balls with a 10 to 14% chance of stunning the enemy, and also deals 170 damage at the legendary rarity. Well, I still don't think this ability is up to par. Napalm now appears every 1 to 5 cells, and if you have a legendary ability, burning enemies will spread the fire. So it might be used for spam tactics, but there are still better abilities. War trophies now give a bonus to the 1 to 4 nearest towers. At legendary, there is a 10% chance for all towers to receive a bonus. So yeah, it has become less powerful, beating farewell to Ares domination, and now Hack reigns supreme. And surprisingly, Sandstorm Lord offers a lot, from reduced damage during the storm to higher speed and damage inside it. And if you reach legendary rarity, your towers won't be conserved anymore. So these are significant improvements, especially considering that most tournament battles now end in a storm. So I think this ability could become, well, quite popular, although the silent facility still looks more attractive. Biofactory generates 1 to 3 robots, reduces damage while in the forest, and even has a 10% chance of spawning 10 robots at once. So yeah, another spammy ability out there. So yeah, you can send multiple small cohorts and get plus 10 robots. So not bad, right? Artillery Barrage now drops from 1 to 2 bombs with a 50% chance of throwing 2 to 3 bombs, dealing double damage. These changes are, well, somewhat ambiguous, and I don't think they'll make it more popular. Revenge now has an explosion radius of from 2 to 8 cells, with a 3% chance of dealing X3 damage, so if you have the legendary version, of course. So yeah, it's definitely not the first pick amongst Ares abilities. Next, Warp Interference. It offers from 30 to 100% chance of firing off warp ambush attacks, revealing its radius after a successful defense, and a 3% chance of dealing X2 damage. So yeah, it's pretty much in the same boat as Revenge. So yeah, in my opinion, Xenna has become, well, more balanced overall. There are far fewer overpowered abilities, but some classic combos like Hack and Speed Mojo, well, will still work the best. And yeah, keep in mind that these changes didn't affect Silent Facility, Mobile Facility, Long Barrels, and Heavy Fire, so they are still good to use too. And yeah, we've also received a fresh update on loot boxes. So now, all boxes only drop common ability cards. Boxes can now drop multiple abilities based on the specific box type's drop chance. Common boxes only drop abilities that the player already possesses. And robot boxes only drop abilities that are specific to the robot corresponding to the box. When this occurs, priority is given to abilities not currently owned by the player. So yeah, we've also seen some minor updates such as new sound effects, network improvements, and bug fixes. So a pleasant addition to the major changes. And yeah, we can't say for sure what the team's long-term plan is and what events should expect in the future. But the main idea is pretty clear: to make Xenna more balanced. Well, due to the uncertain future, I highly recommend you leveling up all abilities and robots, as you might require them in the upcoming tournaments.